One of the things that home inspections always make me think of is that it's one of the key pieces that someone buying a house has to consider.
Right.
Because unless you're buying new construction, which is sort of a whole other area, many people, budget-wise, are buying resale homes. So it's, you know, the housing stock in Toronto, certainly in the downtown central core, is older.
Actually, with an older home, the good news is if it was a century-year-old home or a 100-year-old home, it's been there for that long.
It's still standing.
It's still standing, which is a great sign. Right?
Yes.
So some of the things, again, it's not going to most likely meet the new codes of today's standards, and that's not expected. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get a little bit of slanted floors and stuff like that. Just over time, there's been some settling potentially.
Just like the human body.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a little bit of shrinkage.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Things are settling.
Yes.
Yes. Can you go through sort of the basic ABCs of the process of, like, you know, when the client meets you at the site, the time has been picked for the home inspection. What happens on the day?
It usually takes between 2.5 to 3 hours on a home inspection, and explain the process by I talk about deficiencies and then improvements. Okay, and deficiencies would be under the summary page, so right away if there's a large cost involved or even something that might be dangerous or need to be updated right away, and then the improvements as well. It's like caulking around the bathtub, fixing loose toilets.
Well, things that they need to be done.
Yeah, that I recommend getting done so it doesn't it prevents further potential damages down the road.
I see, as opposed to things that are more serious.
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, do you go for an hour or so yourself, go through it, and then they arrive and you go through with them, or what happens with the interaction with the client, the potential buyer?
Perfect, excellent. Actually, what we prefer to do is actually have the client with us at all times.
Okay.
Because then I can go around, as I go around during the inspection, I can explain every piece of the puzzle to the client, because sometimes I'll get a question, oh John, what about this, and why is this happening? And it's kind of funny, but the house talks to me, is what I say to people. I'm not the house whisperer, but it kind of talks to me, meaning...
Maybe you should keep that to yourself, John.
Yeah, that's good.
The houses talk to me. What are they saying?
Yeah, that's right. And so what I mean by that is simply if there's water stains on the ceiling, and as I look through and do process of elimination, if there happens to be a loose toilet up there and we found a bit of moisture, it could be potentially that's what it's from, because it's, oh, what is that, and this and that.
A challenge, I think, sometimes is that I always try to prepare my clients in an older home. There's going to be problems.
Right.
We just, you know, we have to kind of anticipate that and factor that in, that this isn't, you know, the house sort of reflects it hopefully in price, but to anticipate some problems. So what happens when you find like a sort of a small thing and you have people getting really upset? Like, how do you help people, you know, a bit of the hand-holding to understand what, you know, that this is a problem or this isn't, and you don't have to necessarily worry yourself sick about this. This is still a good home to purchase. As
long as you're explaining things in layman terms, and this is normal, and if it is, of course, if this is a normal process, this is typical to find knob and tube in a 100-year-old home, this is normal to find this and that, but, you know, and if you give them, I find if you give them some sort of solution, do you know what? It's just a matter of caulking or tightening down the toilet. It's the bolts here. Monitor it. If there's a solution to the problem, it just I find
the anxiety
it
level comes down.
Yeah,
a little,
exactly. Eases the client, and they're like, oh, well, that's easy. Right.
So, John, if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to call you up, if they want to find out more about you, how can they do that?
Great. www.gtahomeinspector.ca, or direct would be 647-408-4663. Email us at john@gtahomeinspector.ca.